Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Daily EPL Talk, where we talk about the ongoing daily issues in English Premier League and some of the good things and some of the horrible things and some of the shocking things. And today is such a day where we are talking about the shock because, well, not really a shock because I think everyone expected Manchester United to sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at some point. There were always rumblings from the fans as well as the Premier League community, including ex-Manchester United players, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not fit for the job, and they should have only looked at him on interim basis and gone in for a better manager. Well, as we speak and at the time of recording, there is another shock happening at White Hart Lane or at Spurs, where Spurs are trailing at halftime to Leeds. So let's see what how that story pans out. But today, in this particular episode, we are going to talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and what exactly were his issues. But before we start, I would request you to please subscribe, like our channel, as well as like this video, as well as go to Twitter and follow us. And trust us, you will get every day a bite of all the news updates from all the managers, all the players across the 20 clubs, as well as you will get a first hand analysis of every topic in English Premier League. So let's get started now. Now, the first news for today is obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who got sacked today morning by Manchester United. And the rumblings had already started yesterday, but it's today morning when the official news broke out. And we'll talk about more in the upcoming upcoming slides. And the next one was Aaron Ramsdale. Well, even though Arsenal lost to Liverpool very badly yesterday, but one guy who could keep his heads high. Wow, what a poetry that is. One guy who could keep his head high was Aaron Ramsdale. Yes, the Arsenal goalkeeper. What a save he made. I mean, not just what a save, but saves that he made, and simply amazing, simply brilliant. I mean, one guy who was keeping them single-handedly in the game until Liverpool really outshone them. So Aaron Ramsdale shines while rest of the Arsenal struggled. And the next one is from Graham Potter, who says he has a big admiration for England job. He says England job is like a pinnacle, but he says things change very quickly in football. And as we have come to realize how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got sacked this year, which was not at all expected with the way the team had finished second yesterday, and with the way the team had finished second yesterday, as well as with the way the new enforcements came in, and it was expected that Manchester United this season, finally, after post Sir Alex Ferguson, will be challenging for the title, but it did not happen. And lastly, Ivan Toney, yes, the Brentford striker, he revealed that he had no revenge or motivation. Why did he say that? Because Newcastle was the club that let him go initially, did not give him the chances, and it all came like as if he had a point to prove against his former club. But he clarified that it was purely a professional job that he did at Brentford, and there was no extra motivation of going to score against Newcastle. So those were the top headlines that we had. Do let us know if we missed any or any other headline of English Premier League that we should be talking about here. But one topic that we do want to talk about is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But sorry, just before that, one statement of the day, which came from Pep Guardiola, and this is just before he had talked about this the game against the win against Everton, where very clearly there was a daylight difference between Everton and Manchester City, a very silky clinical performance. And what Pep Guardiola has said is somehow today, since yesterday night, Ole has been on top of my head. But the statement that came in from Pep Guardiola was, I'm a better manager now than I was then. When he says then, that means when he was in Barcelona. I'm more experienced, I know the game better. And that's what English Premier League does. I mean, if you come to think about it, any manager, whether it's Mauricio Pochettino, whether it's Jurgen Klopp, yes, they plied their trades elsewhere, but it's English Premier League. If you don't know how to build a team, if you don't know how to manage a club, if you don't know how to build an identity, You cannot survive in English Premier League for long. Manuel Pellegrini realized it. Brendan Rodgers has realized it. There are many such managers who came. Antonio Conte, in fact, he's struggling at the moment. But when he came at Chelsea, yes, the first season he did it. But to keep doing it, redoing it again and again and again, very challenging. So those are the kind of things that which make us believe that English Premier League is the best league in the world, and that is why we are 100% in Premier League Museum. EPL 24x7, as we have rebranded it, is the one which we follow. Now, the next one. This is the topic that we talked about, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and this is our perspective, my perspective. So nothing which is coming from other places. A mess which has been left behind. Yes, yes. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did clear the mess that Jose Mourinho had left behind, but it looks like there is a new set of mess that he is leaving behind. Very nice chap, very nice guy, but unfortunately, that nicety did not last long, and it came out to be proved that nice men don't last long. So let's talk about what exactly has happened. So, what were the issues? So much has been talked about, and this is again the perspective that I want to give to Premier League fans. What exactly were the issues? People are talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer giving him a chance and letting him prove himself out during the season. But if you think of his 2.5 years of 2.5 years of time at Manchester United, the results were never consistent. There were ups, there were downs, there were some crazy draws, some crazy losses. Think about it. Sheffield United, they lost last season against Sheffield United, who got relegated. So the results were never consistent. New players brought in which never fitted in well. I think other than Bruno Fernandes, I can't think of any other player who has fitted in well in Manchester United and contributed or been made better. There are players who have joined other teams who have been made better than what they were before. Take, for example, Salah. I mean, Klopp took him and just simply made him the best. He looks like the best player. He doesn't play as well with Egypt as he does with Liverpool. Similarly for Firmino, he doesn't play as well for Brazil as he plays for Liverpool. City, Phil Foden, he doesn't play as well for England as he does for Manchester City. So what really is different? The difference is the manager. The manager has made such a big difference. The man management of players wasn't done well. So I can completely vouch that man management of the players wasn't done well. It's very well known. It's out in the media that people questioned his man management. So how do you play a half fit Rashford? How the hell do you play? Sorry, my language, but how the hell do you play a half fit Rashford, a half fit Harry Maguire? Why do you have a squad? You have a squad because you want to make sure that you are playing fully fit the best players, and that kind of encourages, motivates. I was amazed by the way Donny van Beek played yesterday, but too late. And then no titles to keep the players motivated. I still think the problems did not start this season. Yes, Ronaldo compounded it, but the problems were there last season as well. Numerous times they had to come back from behind. Everybody said this is a very resilient team, it comes back, but there were problems in it, and those problems only compounded this season. But the biggest problem was they should not have lost to Villarreal. The biggest problem was there was nothing to motivate them. You don't win League Cup, you don't win FA Cup, you don't win a cup which is totally in your grasp. Like you had one hand on it and you took it. You didn't take it. The Europa League is what I'm talking about. Think about it. Europa League, you are the winner. You have a match against Chelsea in the Super Cup. You win the Super Cup. How motivated the team will be? Well, it's all in the hindsight, but that's the fact. And presence of Ronaldo. So definitely Ronaldo was the last thing that they needed this time, even though yes, he was bound for Manchester City and he would have probably just got them the title. Who knows? Got them the title. Who knows? But the fact is that the presence of Ronaldo really destabilized everything. And I'm not saying it's a problem of Ronaldo. It's because he's coming from an era where he has seen Manchester United at its best. Even when Wayne Rooney was there under Mourinho, he was Mourinho was the kind of guy who wanted the best. And yes, had a very abrasive he had a very abrasive behavior. But Wayne Rooney could correlate with Mourinho because Mourinho wanted top standards and Rooney wanted top standards. If Mourinho would have been here, probably Ronaldo wouldn't have been there. Yet, one thing that they would would have agreed upon is that the standards have fallen at Manchester United, and Ronaldo just could not accept it. So presence of Ronaldo has made a big difference, and then you already have a Pogba who's unhappy, you have Eric Bailly who is unhappy, you have Harry Maguire who is having some mental issues somewhere else in Greece. Those are all the problems that they had. So, what is the road ahead? Let's talk about the road ahead now. What is the road ahead for Manchester United? And this is where it gets interesting because there is a choice of interim manager, there's a choice of permanent manager, handing of Ronaldo and Pogba to deal with, and what does the current season mean for United? Like, what do they achieve this season? They are in a rut. They have the next match against Chelsea, they have a next match against Villarreal, they have a next match against Arsenal. Then the road gets a bit easier, but how do they deal with it? Are they going to be near the relegation now? Because every team is getting better. Even the teams in the relegation have changed their managers. Norwich City got Dean Smith. Imagine a guy who just got sacked, and they sacked right before the international break. They had a plan in mind. Manchester United did not. So, what does the current season mean for them? And this is where the things get very interesting because if we talk about the permanent managers, let's talk about those. We are talking about the top managers here. Mauricio Pochettino, who will not leave because he's already hired. Luis, not Luis Suarez, Luis Enrique, he's already looking at World Cup for the national team next year. Zinedine Zidane, he doesn't want to join. Maybe his wife doesn't want him to join, just like Jurgen Klopp. And Ten Hag, well, he has a commitment towards Ajax Amsterdam. And would Edwin van der Sar want to give another Van Beek to Manchester United to spoil? I'm not sure about that. So, and one thing which I do want to mention here, right? I mean, Manchester United, what have they done so far? They went against the philosophy of Manchester United and they hired teams. They hired managers who were not, who should not have been. Like, for example, Louis Van Gaal, Mourinho, and then they got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. They should have got the top manager who blended with the philosophy of Manchester United. It did not happen. So this time, in my personal opinion, Ten Hag is the best person. But then the next question comes, who in the interim? And then you have these options. You have the option of Brendan Rodgers. Does he leave Leicester City? Laurent Blanc. Where does he take them to? Steve Bruce. I'm hearing Steve Bruce as well. Nope, I'm not even going to talk about it. Michael Carrick, well, he may be just a person in waiting to see who the next interim manager may be. But then these are the kind of questions. Who is going to be in the interim and who is it that will be leading Manchester United towards that bigger glory? So those are the kind of questions. Again, coming back to the four questions, right? The choice of interim manager, the choice of permanent manager, the handling of Ronaldo and Pogba. How do they, what do they achieve this season, or are they just gonna leave? Pogba is surely leaving this season. Well, it looks most likely. And then Ronaldo, if they don't get Champions League next season, what happens then? And of course, what does the current season mean for United? Like, where do they go? They just sit in seventh, eighth, ninth. I don't think now even a Europa or Conference League spot is kind of permanent for them. So, what happens? How did you like this presentation? Please do let us know and do once again like us on Facebook, on Twitter, follow us, and YouTube channel. Thank you, and we'll come back with more.